Today, we are going to continue with our Healthy New You program. Yes. Wow, there's so many aspects for you to become a new you. Yes. So, we are going to continue with laying down the weight as well and about nutrition and hair. And in studio, we've got two special guests, Michelle Bernard, owner of Creative Fingers Hair Salon in White Plains, New York. Hi, Michelle.
Hello, thank you for having
Yeah,
me.
absolutely. Michelle is the official hair specialist for our show, and she is the foremost knowledgeable person I know on
Thank you,
hair. You are
LaJoyce.
welcome, my dear. And Craig Cobb, the creator of the Hair Tonic product. It is one of the Good Doctor approved products, and he's here to share with us his riveting story about not only how he's come to create the product, but how he's come to understand certain uses for it. And he's on his way in here from the train. And it's testimony time. We're going to have a person who has used the hair tonic for an alternative use join us by phone and share with us her findings. Yes. So you don't want to miss a moment of it. Grab your Good Doctor notebooks. This is all about our winter hair and
Yes.
how to care for it, huh? Now, please join me on Twitter at Ask the Good Doc, on Instagram and Facebook at Ask the Good Doctor. Please jump in and interact. We also want you to subscribe to the YouTube channel at Ask the Good Doctor LaJoyce. And as always, the Good Doctor event is free. Free. Yes. So after all that I've said about our heart health, something that must be discussed, and Michelle, we need to team up and do something in your salon.
Yes.
Yes, and have an
Definitely.
event there because all of the women who come to get beautified, they need to know about keeping their heart healthy.
Yes.
And if you feel as though you're going through some challenging health issues that you need to talk about in detail and not on social media with me, I have created the Healthy New You 1 hour phone consultation for me by phone, and it's just me and you. So send me an email at askthegooddoctor@msn.com and let's get you scheduled. I'm so glad to hear many of you are enjoying in the Healthy New You weight program, laying down the weight, and we still want 50,000 women to join on the journey because, like I always say, when mama is broken, the whole house is sick. And it's an awesome thing to know that mama is committing to herself this year and for always. Now, this is the most awesome thing that I know because women, as the backbone, we do everything, don't we, Michelle?
Yes.
We raise these families, and a lot of times things are neglected, especially with ourselves. And the one thing that I know is that a lot of women tend to let things go over the winter. What's that about?
It's doing too much.
Oh, say doing too much. Okay.
Doing too much. We have evolved
Mm.
as women, doing the work, the housework, the mothering, the friends, and the rest of the world hasn't evolved as much with us. So we're still doing a lot and leaving ourselves for last.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a bad practice.
Yes, indeed it is. Now, what do you say that we should be mindful of during the winter months to make sure that our crowning glory is awesome?
Well, you have to stay hydrated. You have to stay hydrated. There's salt in everything in the air from the snow and everything that changes the pH in the skin and in your hair. And like Craig has the tonic, that helps just to saturate your hair with that hair tonic is amazing. But you have to stay hydrated. You have to take your oils inside so it can come out.
What kind of oils are you recommending?
Like you could do a teaspoon of coconut oil.
Mm-hmm.
You can do all your fish oils and things like that. Oil pulling, it keeps you hydrated from the inside out.
Now let's talk about oil pulling for a minute. I'm glad you brought that up because oil pulling is an Ayurvedic modality, and it is ages old. And it is so beneficial for many things. The purpose of oil pulling is to actually draw toxins out of the body through the mouth.
Right.
All right. The mouth is an incredible harboring spot that harbors germs. And through the membranes comes toxicity.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's just call it what it is. It's toxic. So when you take, let's say, a teaspoon of coconut oil, organic, okay, extra virgin coconut oil, put it in your mouth, and it feels creepy at first, y'all. I'm not gonna lie to you. And it's solid.
Yes.
So you put this piece of solid thing in your mouth and you start moving it. First, you hold it in your mouth for just a second and melt it just a little bit. And once you do that, it blends with your saliva. So then you have something to actually swish. So then you start moving it back and forth, tossing it around with the intent of letting it touch each side of the jaw. And some people don't really know how to oil pull. All right. And this is how you do. You must actually touch each side of the jaw. And you also want to make an attempt to slide the oil through the teeth like floss. All right. So it's almost like a water irrigation, like a water pick, if you will. So that's really what you're doing. And when you're doing it, you can actually feel you're doing that.
Yes.
So I recommend that you do it like while you're showering or while you were just getting ready for the morning. Now, here's the thing. You can taste the difference in what happens to what's in the coconut oil from what you put in your mouth to when you finish pulling it. The difference is amazing, and it will taste toxic. Honestly. In fact, it is so toxic, you should not spit that in your sink. You should spit it in the toilet. You really should. And then you should rinse your mouth and spit it in the toilet again. And then you should rinse your mouth again and then brush your teeth. And then I recommend that you brush your teeth with a baking soda or a non-fluoridated toothpaste. That's the best thing to do. Now, the benefit of that is it's going to detoxify the body.
Right.
And like Michelle said, to her point, it's going to actually put the good oil into the body and help keep the body moist and supple. Like, look at her skin, like she's like glow.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Like moist and supple, and you don't want to look all dried out.
Exactly.
And this is the point. And so the oil pulling can help do that. And also a bonus is that even though it detoxifies through the mouth, a bonus is that it helps to whiten the teeth.
Whitens it beautifully.
And so you don't need a strip, y'all, a whitener with whatever that thing is on the strip in the first place that burns your gums. Wendy Williams admitted to that. She left it on there too long. She was saying it burned my gums because that will happen. Yeah. So you don't want to put anything in there that has a warning or a danger sign. I remember the first time I read on the back of the toothpaste that if you swallow this, call the Poison Control Center. I was like, Mommy! I was like 10. This says, I know for a fact that Stevie swallows this like every day. Call the Poison Control Center. Like what? We shouldn't be using anything that says warning, danger, anything. So, the coconut oil is a really good thing. What other oils are you recommending?
Well, I like the sesame seed oil too. Sesame seed oil, amazing. And I recommend oiling the hair before shampooing.
Come on.
So you saturate your hair with Amla oil. The Indians really believe in Amla.
Oh, the green oil. Yeah. I love that stuff.
Yeah, it's awesome.
It's awesome.
So what you do is oil the hair first. You have that overnight.
Yeah.
Then you shampoo it out. Now, don't wet it and shampoo it. You take a little oil in the shampoo and shampoo it in. You maybe put a little water so it could have a lather, but you shampoo it in. Because what's in the shampoo opens up the cuticle, oil goes in, and it just seals it, so it seals it.
So are you saying to use, now, are you heating the amla like a hot oil?
You can, or either put it on and sit under heat, or you could take a wet towel, put it in a microwave, let it, not too hot, and wrap your hair with a plastic cap, and it'll steam it. So you do that. Keep the oils in overnight. Make sure you have a pillowcase just for that.
Just for that, or a towel, definitely.
You want to wrap it up good, but some always comes out, and then you shampoo it out in the day, in the next day. Some people do it all weekend.
Yes.
Like have a nice weekend oil treatment, but you don't wash your hair and then do the oil. It doesn't seal into the hair. It's just sitting on top of it, and it washes out in the sink. when you pre-treat the hair with oil. And like you can mix the oil with the hair
Hair
tonic,
tonic, yes.
which is amazing. You do that, mix it with the hair tonic, let that sit overnight. Your hair shine, supple, moisture, and it seals the ends. It seals the cuticle and it keeps it moist, and it blocks away from the salt in the air and things like that, because the streets look ashy.
Yes, the streets do look ashy, and so do all of the cars.
Yeah, it's all salt. So if it can get on the
true.
top of your car, it can get on the top of your head and your
Yes,
skin,
absolutely.
So definitely, yeah.
Well, being from Chicago, we have a thing where, once you put on your hat for the winter, you don't take it off no matter what. And that I may run outside without a coat, just like to run in my car real quick and run right back, but I will never run out without a hat. And it's just, I always have on a hat. Even when the weather gets warm and there's like a little spring thing, never take off your hat. That's like a thing. So what you're saying then, to your point, and you know what, I never thought that about that being salt in the air like that. But y'all, that's toxic.
It's toxic to breathe it in. That's why it's great to have your humidifier during the winter, steam the house, because it's helping you keep that stuff out of your lungs.
That's true too. That's what a humidifier is for. It's good.
And back to the hair tonic, put a couple of drops of that in the humidifier.
Come on.
Arm's length, but it keeps the pH great in the room for your skin, your hair, your breathing, everything. It's all great ingredients. So it's good for a lot of different things.
It sure is. Wait a minute. So Craig here is cheesing his head off because, hi, Craig.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm all right.
Yes.
Yeah, no, I'm really happy because that's why I hand pick hairstylists who can represent hair tonic, because she's a professional. And unfortunately, you guys, I know plants and water. I know herbs from indigenous practices. I actually don't know a lot about hair. So I depend very heavily on hairstylists to tell me, as foot soldiers, what's going on. And so that's why I'm very, very dependent on Michelle and very few other hairstylists, but I appreciate that. Yeah,
Oh,
so
my pleasure.
That's
hair tonic. It's 100% plants and water. You apply it to your scalp every day. Makes your hair grow. You don't have to rinse it out.
Yeah. And don't use so much either, y'all. It makes your hair wet too in the wintertime. So,
Okay. All right,
okay.
all right.
You don't want to make it wet.
Yeah. That's why it's good ways to use it differently, like as a pre-treatment, where you're keeping it in overnight.
Yeah.
And if you can't put it in every day, you should find different ways to treat your hair with it. That's going to give you that effect.
I actually bake it in.
Okay.
I use it like a couple of days before. Well, it depends on what woman I feel like I am today, whether or not I'm gonna wet my hair or not. And with swimming now, my whole objective is not to get my hair wet.
Right.
So when I use the tonic though, but I like to use the tonic when I go swimming because I like wrap my head to the nth power. Well, let me just clarify that. I'm not going swimming. I'm doing water aerobics.
Okay.
And my little cutie pie senior citizen ladies who in the water, who have full earrings, full makeup, they don't even get their face wet, trust and believe. And I was like, I got to get out to this deep end during this stuff, But so now I don't get my hair wet, but my hair is steaming. And so when you have the tonic in there and it's seeping in, it's like being under the hair dryer
With your pores open.
Yes, with a
Right.
treatment.
Absolutely.
It's like being with a treatment. And also when I go to the salon and I take some tonic in a little container and I have them put it on my scalp and then wet set my hair or blow my hair when I'm at home. I put it right after I wash, I put it on no matter what. And so I found that to be good. And my daughter's hair is doing beautifully. I sent Craig a shot the other day.
I couldn't believe the picture. I couldn't believe it. But LaJoyce had sent me a picture previously of her hair after using hair tonic. And of course, her daughter's hair looked just like her.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, mother and daughter. So beautiful growth and beautiful results.
Beautiful.
Great, healthy,
That's
strong
what's
hair.
happening.
Yeah, I loved it. I love that look.
That's what's happening. Michelle, I wanted to go back to the oils that you say do because, we've got some dangerous things going on here because that salt is toxic. And in a lot of places, too, they've stopped using salt. They use sand. Where I live in the rural area, they use sand because they found that salt was basically eating the streets.
Yeah.
and making really huge potholes. And so they were doing this. So then they revisited that. And so they used sand instead. But my question is, where are they getting red sand from? So I don't know about that either. But but to your point about the toxicity in the air, what should we be doing to protect our hair from that in addition to wearing a hat?
Well, the oils, you
Oh,
want to,
that's
it's
oil.
like a repellent. Just like with the sun, you want to put like a sunscreen on the hair to
Okay.
protect during the summers. You want to put your sunscreen in the winter, and it blocks, a little oil, a little botanical oils on the hair. It covers it.
It's
So
a sealant.
it's a sealant. So you want to do that definitely, during the winter, and wash your hair more.
Come on. Now, why more?
Well, a healthy head of clean hair will prosper. You
It's true.
know, it will prosper. That old saying that dirty hair grows,
Grows.
it's just not true. And it's skin on the scalp. So imagine just not taking a bath for a month. You have got to wash your hair at least once a week, same day, same time, at least.
Why same day, same time, Michelle?
Because your hair has memory,
Okay.
and you're teaching it, and it's going to show up for you. The more you give it the structure, it will perform for you.
Huh.
And it'll be easier to do, easier to dry. You'll come in looking good. You won't have that off time where, oh God, what am I going to do with my hair? Get in the practice of maintaining your hair at least once a week. And if you're going to a stylist every 2 weeks, on that off week, you should be able to get in the shower and blow your hair or do something that looks good.
Right.
Where you're layering your oils, your conditioners, that type of thing. So you're going to be in good shape.
That's interesting that you say that. I've never heard that theory before, but it makes perfect sense. And I think in the Black community that what we've gotten in the habit of doing is going to get your hair done every other week because that's when our mom and them got paid.
That's it. That's when you got your check every 2 weeks. But you have got to get in there and wash that hair.
But I had my aunt. I had a bout of acne. That I just really, I wasn't doing a good job of keeping my skin clean. At the end of the day, that's what it was. And it's not chocolate, and it wasn't potato chips. It was, my hair was against my skin, and my face wasn't. I wasn't keeping my hair clean. And my aunt was like, what we're going to do? She took me downtown and to Marshall Fields. I loved Marshall Fields back in the day, Chicago. And she bought me everything Clinique for my face. And she said, we're going to start with taking you to get your hair done every week. And do you know my skin cleared up in about 2 weeks? It really did. But you guys, I want you all to stay put. And everyone, I hope you have your Good Doctor notebooks. This is vital information. Ooh, I love it. I'm Dr. LaJoyce Brookshire, and I'm in studio with Michelle Bernard of Creative Finger Salon, which she has owned for 26 years. Oh my gosh. She's received recognition for knowledge in hair extensions and creative techniques, and she's also received awards in precision hair cutting, relaxing, permanent waves, and hair coloring. And Michelle was recognized as an outstanding beautician by Chapter 110 of the Beauticians League and was named Elle Magazine's Top 100 Salons in the country. Yes! She's our official hair specialist for the Good Doctor show, so we are glad to have her back this quarter.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Mr. Craig Cobb, creator of the Hair Tonic product, which is doing some miraculous things on the scene out there in these streets. Thank you, Craig.
Yeah, thank you for having me back. I wish I had the credentials that Michelle had, but they're coming, I imagine. You know what I mean? I imagine people keep using my product. Maybe I'll have a credential or two. But yeah, thank you very much for having me back.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I'm so happy that, you're able to be here because, that hair tonic has really enhanced our lives. I appreciate that.
I appreciate you. Hair tonic, I want everyone to know, it came to me in a dream. It's 100% plants and water. I have suffered from psoriasis, or I should say I suffered from psoriasis and eczema for years, since I was 20. Out of a dream, out of nowhere, I woke up with instructions to take plants together, put them through a process, make it into a liquid, put it on my scalp. I never had those conditions again. It does not cure male pattern baldness. I'm a dude. I'm going bald. I'm not vain about it. But
letting it ride.
Yeah, just let it flow. But I no longer have dandruff. I no longer have eczema. I have a clean and healthy scalp. And I have shared the product with many people, many of your listeners across the country, and they are seeing remarkable results.
Remarkable.
Now, what has really humbled me is that people are using it with alopecia.
Yes.
And
absolutely.
that is not to suggest that hair tonic 100% guarantees cure for alopecia, but it does help.
Okay, so let's stop right there. Pause.